This time I'm going to bring you with me on Tenkara fishing in Swedish Lapland. We have been fishing before with different techniques and different equipment, but Tenkara is totally new both for Stina and me. In this video I will show you the equipment and I will give you a short idea about what Tenkara is. I will also share my experience as a beginner. Tenkara fishing. I've been looking into that for several years, but finally I ordered some equipment from Dragontail in US. It is minimalistic because you don't need different rods, several hundreds of lures and hooks and all the tons of equipment that you usually want when you're fishing with other techniques. But to be honest, already when I unboxed my first rod, I had the feeling that, wow, I want a second one or a third one, or I don't know, I want more.
Lightweight. Really lightweight.
And when I told Stina that I want a second rod, she told me, Matti, you can only use one rod at a time. The only thing that will make you catch fish is to spending time out there actually fishing and having the hook in the water. So we ordered a very tiny packable rod. It's called Dragontail Kaida 320. And it's a pack rod. And pack rod is because it gets to fold very short in many sections. And it's 70 grams and it's almost nothing. To be honest, I don't know much about Tenkara rods. This is my first one, but I have been looking into several YouTube reviews and they recommend this as a good beginner rod, and we are really happy with them. And then we come to the lines. And to be honest, I don't really remember which one is good for what or so, but we grabbed one of these beginners setup from Dragontail, and it comes with 2 lines, and then it comes with this tipping. And tipping is you have this colored line closest to the rod, and then you have a piece of tipping between this line and the fly. And this tipping gets shorter and shorter every time when you cut the piece and make a new knot and put a new fly there, of course. But you need this 3, that's all, and it's not expensive and not heavy.
I put a link down in this description to all this kind of gear.
And then we come to the flies. And this is science and religion. And try to make 2 fly fishermen to agree about what fly is the best one. It's impossible. So the idea with the fly is that they should imitate the insect in the water that the fish want to eat. Then we can divide the flies in categories. The first one is dry fly. They floating on the surface and imitate a fly or an insect that just have landed or are going to take off from the water surface. Then you have the wet fly and you have the nymph and the streamer. And they are fished in the water, under the water surface, and they imitate an insect that are somewhere between, and the streamers can also imitate a small fish. And then you have the Tenkara flies, and that comes together with the Tenkara fishing rod. I don't have them, and I don't really know why a fly from Japan should work in Swedish Lapland. Maybe I had to try, I don't know. I think it's important to stay very basic, not get too many flies as I have, and because then you had to spend so much time with choosing and picking the right one, and you always had the feeling that it's the wrong fly. If you just have 3, 4, 5 flies, it's maybe easier.
we've been fishing for a while and we haven't catched anything, so it will be sausage for the dinner tomorrow. Anyway, there is a learning curve with this kind of fishing, with all kind of fly fishing, and it's very basic, simple equipment you use, and that's something I like. You don't need tons of gears, so this is gear you actually very easy can bring when you go hiking. And maybe I have to change the ISO like that, yeah. So it's lightweight gear, it's very simple. It's not made for catching tons of fish. This is more something that you can use for catching one fish or just for fun. How is your first Tenkara fishing experience?
Fun, but I have to train a lot of technique, I think.
I said it's a learning curve.
Yeah, absolutely, but very nice and like peaceful meditation, like I think.
Yep, I think we have learned enough today, practiced enough today. Now we're going home. I met Johnny in the forest when I walked up here, and he came to me and looked at me and then took off full speed towards the car.
Yeah, not sneaky like the mosquitoes.
No, he wanna go home.
12 in the night, so
Yeah,
I think he's tired.
but I have heard some fish going up to the surface. Yeah, we're going home. Anyway, this was the first time Tenkara fishing, but not the last time.
Absolutely not.
And so far we haven't catched any fish, but we have been out several times. This is not the technique you should use if you want to catch food. It is a learning curve, so you can put the fly in a good way in the water. And then you also have the water that's moving. So you have to put the fly so it moves nicely in the water. And you had to try to understand that. And I think both Stina and me, we are still on the casting techniques. Try to learn to put the line out and let the fly landing where we want it to land. The second learning curve is to pick what fly do you need. And it's a lot of things you can learn about the water, the ecosystem, the insects, and what actually the fish are eating. I have the feeling that you can really nerding down into this if you want. I enjoy the minimalistic idea to just have one tiny fishing rod, just a few flies and a line. And yeah, there is something special with that. I will definitely continue Tenkara fishing next summer. I hope you get inspired by this video, and I put links down below to the equipment that we order and that we are using. And maybe next summer we meet along one of the creeks in Swedish Lapland, fishing or maybe drinking coffee and looking at the rods. What do you think? And remember, I'm in the bottom of my learning curve with Tenkara fishing. If you have any advice or links to some YouTube videos that's good, or I don't know, leave a comment down below. I need to learn more and I want to learn more about this. You can also just leave a comment and say hi. It's also nice to see where you are from. Anyway, see you in next video. Ciao!